to the channel and to another live stream. And in today's live stream, oh, and if I didn't wish any of y'all happy holidays, first and foremost, I wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year at that. Anyways, in today's live stream, folks, I wanted to talk about how the majority of our lives are dictated upon how other people live their lives. Let me give you a few examples. Okay, you have more females nowadays. I would say more females in their 20s and 30s nowadays who may usually, even in their late teens, who may have kids by men who they don't ever plan on marrying, and some of one of their main excuses would be based upon how even if they were to marry those men, women who have kids out of wedlock, that is, they may happen to know several women in their families who were married and ended up divorcing after marrying, and due to how their marriages, their female relatives' marriages, or even some of their male relatives' marriages didn't work out. They may look at how some of their relatives who were married before marriages, who are maybe currently divorced, not working out, based upon their marriages not working out, that even if they were to have married some of those same women who may have kids out of wedlock, or may have had kids, never have been married before, but ended up having kids outside of wedlock, they may dictate that upon if they were to have married prior to having kids out of wedlock, that their marriage wouldn't have lasted either, just based upon how some of their relatives' marriages may have not lasted. Another example of how a lot of our lives are dictated amongst or upon others is, okay, think about how so many people go to college, and not due to how they may personally make the decision to go to college on their very own, but due to how they may have other people in their families to pressure them, specifically their parents, to go to college. And they may usually go to college and dictate going to college based upon their parents going to college, and how if their parents may have went to college, graduated from college, and became fairly successful, they may dictate that upon if they were to have went to college themselves, then they would be successful. When it's clearly obvious how high, and thanks for joining y'all, it's quite a bit of people who didn't go to college, but yet it still became fairly successful. I mean, think about the founder and creator of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. Think about also billionaire Warren Buffett. Think about who else? Elon Musk. Judging from my understanding, he has no college credit, but still ended up becoming one of the most successful and wealthiest people in the whole entire world. However, so many people base college upon just because they may know some people in their family who may have went to college, graduated from college, and became fairly successful and pretty financially secure. They may dictate that upon if they were to go to college once again, then they would eventually end up going to college, graduating, getting a degree in whatever kind of field they may have, whichever kind of field they may have chosen, and end up becoming just as successful as some of their relatives, even some of their friends who may have went to college, graduated, and are fairly successful. My point of making this live stream and video is that the majority of us let other people's lives dictate how we should live our lives. That's just like how there are people who may be pressured into drinking alcoholic beverages, becoming drunks, due to how they may let other friends of theirs, just because they may have other friends who may be drunks or may like to get high, they may let their lifestyles of getting drunk, their friends' lifestyles of getting either drunk or high, dictate how they would fit in, just because their friends may have started to get high, either high or drunk, just to be able to fit in, just to make friends. Another example, just like how some, you could say, there are some people who, on the flip side of how I said, there are some single mothers who may decide to not get married based upon how they may let some of their relatives who may have been married before but are no longer married dictate how, if they were to become married themselves, end up marrying themselves, then they would not have a long lasting or successful marriage. Well, on the flip side of that, you have some people who may usually get married, and due to how they may know quite a bit of people, some people who may have currently gotten married and may know quite a bit of people, where there may be a lot of family members or friends who may currently be married. And the person may have not even much wanted to get married for real. Yet and still, they may base their marriages, their chance of marrying, upon how some of their friends or family members' marriages, getting married, may have turned out. Especially if they may have family members, either family members or friends that who may have been in long lasting marriages or may currently be in long lasting and very happy marriages. They'll usually may have let their, either some of their relatives or friends dictate how their marrying would equate to them having a long lasting and successful marriage as well. On the flip side, that's not always the case. When you do marry somebody, it's not always meant to go just perfect, a marriage from a person. These are just a few examples of how most of the things we do in life are dictated based upon other people's actions and consequences. Anyways, and like always, before I end this live stream, make sure to first and foremost like the video. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel. And until next time, I'm out.